Here's my thought. We are officially in the new Monday Night War, and it's not exactly what you might think it is. Of course, you know what the original Monday Night War is, and for those
Yes.
listening, it's essentially it was Monday Nitro, which was a professional wrestling company, versus
Well,
WWF Monday Night
it
Raw.
was the promotion that they played on Mondays for
Yeah,
WCW.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Raw versus Nitro, two professional wrestling entertainment companies on two separate channels at the same time, competing essentially for the same audience.
Mhm.
So, here about an hour or so ago, I was just scrolling through YouTube, and I want to make it abundantly clear: I don't have satellite and I don't have cable. All I have is internet.
Okay.
Jacob Waters knows I live out in literally the middle of a cornfield, so options are very few for me out here, right?
Yeah.
So, what I do for entertainment, I'm either watching YouTube or whatever's on Facebook or on some other competing video hosting service. So here I am, about 6 o'clock tonight, local time, Central Time. I'm on YouTube, and I see not one, not two, but three competing video podcasts right here on YouTube. All three of these people are from the convention that I ran production for down in Florida, and I'm trying to figure out who do I watch here. What do I do? Because I want to see all of them.
Who's all on tonight?
So, yeah, I don't think they would mind at all in me mentioning their names. I'll
Oh
just
no, not
bring
at
them.
all.
Yeah, yeah. So the first one is still up, and that is the Typical Skeptic podcast.
Yeah,
And
I'm a subscriber over there.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good podcast. They have
absolutely.
he's I think their host is working too hard right now. He needs
Yeah,
to and a few people, and I also reached out to him and I told him, hey, you don't have to knock out an interview like two of them a day, or I was like,
yeah.
let him breathe,
He's
like
just
because they're gonna get
chugging right
lost. But
along.
he works so hard. I'll
Yeah,
give it to him. He
yeah,
works
yeah,
so
yeah,
hard.
yeah, yeah. And I met him in person, and even got to speak with him for a little bit. And he is he just so much embodies Art Bell that he essentially, and I can't speak for him obviously, but this is just my impression of him. That it seems like he really does want to be Art Bell, and you think of Art Bell, how many shows was he cranking out?
Yeah.
He's cranking out 4 hours every night of every weekday.
Did you see
With
his New Year's show by any
Yeah,
chance?
yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
40
I
people on
was
the panel.
Yeah, yeah. And see, that's another part of the war here too, because here I was actually participating on your show on New Year's, and you had your own show, and they had theirs going on, and it was just looking at the entire list was just absolutely incredible. We're in
Yeah.
very fun times,
I've always
and
said like I don't ever consider myself a competitor with anybody on the
yeah,
internet. That's why I
no,
try to
yeah,
keep it
yeah,
so random.
right, yeah. My grandpa had a bumper sticker on his car back, years ago, and it said, "Cheer up, we're all fighting the same battle."
Yeah.
So it's obviously all friendly competition here.
Who
We're
are the
all on
other
the same
who are the
side.
other who are the other participants that were on
Yeah,
tonight?
yeah. I was gonna get to them. We had let's see here, Disclosure Now, which is with Brian Singh and with Arkeem Ra, who I believe
Okay.
is actually going to be appearing on your show coming up later this week.
Possibly. Yeah, we're still scheduling the date, but possibly later this week. It would be a morning or afternoon show. I talked to Arkeem last night, and I'm friends with Brian. I've known Brian for a while. He's an interesting guy. I like Brian.
Yeah,
He's I like him because he's got a good heart, and he wants everybody in the SSP community to get along. But I know that there's so
true.
many internal hurdles where so many people are just not going to get along with each other,
Yeah,
no matter what.
yeah,
I don't know if it's because of programming or just personal experiences or
Just
what, but
well, just like anything else, just like any other club, any other work environment, we're all going to have our own personal differences, and it's neither here nor there.
yeah,
We're different backgrounds, different colors, different walks of life.
yeah.
So, different ideas.
But I like his passion to get
Yeah,
everybody together. I just
yeah,
don't think it's one of those missions that'll never be accomplished fully.
yeah, yeah. He
But he's
just has
definitely
that
bringing
rare
some communities
personality
together.
too. Yeah, he just has that rare, wonderful personality about him too, to where he can bring everyone together and just kind of see what everyone is really good at and know exactly where to put them. So yeah, Brian's wonderful. Yeah, yeah. And the other one is also Sherry Divband, who talks a lot about children education. And
Okay,
she also had Lily Nova on her show tonight.
Lily
So
Nova. I know that name.
yeah, yeah,
Sounds familiar.
she's from the St. Louis area, and yeah, she's into the disclosure movement and everything. She is a presenter, and she'll also be at the upcoming Rebels of Disclosure conference here at
Nice.
the Pierre Marquette Lodge in May coming up, which I'll be attending that once again 2 years in a
Where's
row.
that one at?
That is at the Pierre Marquette Lodge in Grafton, Illinois.
Okay.
Not too
Is that
far
going to
from.
be a big event?
Yeah, they had, of course, Laura Eisenhower as one of the keynote speakers here for the past 3 years. I was there last year, and it's like a week long conference, and they cover all of the subjects, ranging from Sasquatch to UFOs to disclosure to you name it, anything under the sun. It's just a wonderful
And
conference.
when does that? Is it in the summer? You said.
Yeah, coming up in I believe May.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep that in mind. Because I've talked to Laura a few times. I've always
yeah,
wanted to meet her. I
yeah.
I think
It's
there's only a
wonderful.
few people that I would really like to meet. I think Arkeem would be a cool guy to meet. I
Yeah,
think Penny would be a great person to meet. There's just
absolutely,
so many people that I think are just genuine people, and Laura also gives off that energy.
definitely. Come on down to Florida on the Full Disclosure Now
The Florida one's
conference.
the hardest. Where in Florida is it at?
That's at St. Pete Beach, Florida, and that is in July.
Okay, I had to figure out what its correlation is to Sarasota because that's the only place I can really stay out in
Okay.
Florida where my
Yeah,
folks are at.
yeah,
And so I'd have to figure out how far it was from Sarasota, but
yeah,
yeah, possibility.
definitely.
I couldn't imagine. Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine Florida in the summer. I've never gone to Florida in the summer. That's never been a thing for me.
It was hot, but we're also at a resort, and there's plenty of it's very comfortable there. You know me. I've lived here in Illinois all my life, and I was feeling great there. Lots of opportunities to go right down there into the ocean. You're right there on the beach, and just a great time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's awesome. No, I'm glad all those guys are. Every single person that you mentioned, I'm so glad they're doing podcasts, and so glad.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
like that YouTube is a saturated market. I'm
yeah.
fine with that. That's what makes it so that one day you get bored and you just go on this rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was out, and I didn't know this was out, and yeah,
Right.
it's
Yeah,
a good time.
yeah, and
Actually, I thought about you today. I was watching a documentary on Mad Mike, the Rocket Man,
okay.
and his lifestyle just kind of reminded me of you. So do you know the story about Mad Mike, the Rocket Man?
I'm not sure. I'm looking that up right now.
Okay, well, there's a documentary on him that came out in 2017, and his goal was to shoot a rocket into the moon to prove that the Earth was, or well, shoot a rocket into space to
Oh,
prove that the
yeah,
Earth
yeah,
was
yeah,
flat.
yeah. I just looked this up on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay,
to see if the Earth is flat or yeah. But
so his day job is he's a limousine driver, and then when he
yeah,
gets home, he doesn't have time for women in his life. He's got a few animals that he takes care of. He doesn't have
yeah,
time for women though,
yeah,
and he does his regular day job of limo driver. And I thought that was just like the coolest profession. And every once in a while, he'll do like a trick with his limo for people to like show it off. I think he jumped a ramp with his limo one time and was trying to make a bunch of money for it. But he's a big flat earther, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna build my own rocket." He goes, "I'm not gonna trust Elon Musk. I'm not gonna trust NASA and all these other people." And he started basically strapping a bomb behind him and propelling himself off the ground. He had 2 rocket attempts. And both of them went up into the air, and his parachutes only do so well. And he doesn't have like a deployment unit. Yeah, cheers. And he doesn't have like a deployment unit. So he just kind of crashes at about 60 miles an hour, even after the parachute's deployed. And he's in like a tin can. And so he usually can't walk when he's done with it, but he takes a couple weeks off and then he comes back. And I was just thinking of somebody that has like this normal, regular profession, limo driver, and then he's got these side gigs where he's like, all right, I'm going to build a rocket and prove that the earth is flat. Like, I don't know why. I was like, that just reminded me of Terry. There was something about it.
I recently learned that just a few years ago, and this is on NASA's official website, all right? So this isn't fake news. This isn't conspiracy. This is nothing. This is on NASA's official website as an official press release and everything, to where they are now saying that the moon is now inside the Earth's atmosphere. Because that was always one of the biggest arguments about supposedly we can't exit the atmosphere out of Earth, like some part of the ionosphere, something like that, which makes traveling to the moon impossible. Therefore, the whole thing is fake. So
because it was the radiation that they talk about going through, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
in Earth.
Yeah, Google it. That's how I found it too, because I heard it mentioned on one of these podcasts where it's like and it's just wonderful now that we live in this time, that this age to where we have everything literally at our fingertips.
Okay, AI gave me an answer. All right, hold on. Share this with the audience so they don't think we're bro sciencing on everybody.
Yeah. Did you find it?
I did.
That's awesome.
It came up right away. It was like one of the first.
Great. Of course, it came right up because it's official. This is real NASA right here.
Let's see here. So we got, yes, the moon is located in the Earth's atmosphere, specifically in the exosphere, which is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere extends beyond the moon. The outermost part of the Earth's atmosphere, called the geochronal, extends almost twice the distance to the moon. The geochronal is a cloud of hydrogen atoms that can be detected by measuring Lyman alpha radiation, a type of ultraviolet light.
Yeah.
The moon also has its own thin atmosphere. The moon may receive water from Earth's atmosphere. Yeah. Interesting.
That's interesting.
I heard that one either.
Yeah.
Some of the hydrogen and oxygen ions that escape from Earth's atmosphere may hit the moon, which has no magnetosphere to repel them. These ions may combine to form lunar permafrost, which can eventually become liquid water.
Wow.
Wow. That's an interesting one too.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize it was part of our the Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, I've been on this Earth for near 50 years now, and this was the first that I was hearing of the Earth, of the moon being in Earth's atmosphere.
So I still think the Van Allen radiation. So where is the Van Allen radiation belt inside of the Earth's atmosphere?
I mean, maybe we should look that up. Like, pull up a picture of the Earth's atmosphere and the layers of it, because if Tiffany is still in the chat, I'd like to get her opinion on because when I first heard about this, I went into Esoterica, to where we learn about the third going into the fourth, into the fifth dimension, but it is how it compares to the different chakras that we have. A lot of people are from the school of thought that we have 7 chakras. There's others who think we have 13. Then there's others who think we have 33 chakras. So I started thinking of this as, okay, is this metaphorically speaking, Earth expanding out its own consciousness to that higher dimensional thinking, to where it's going from a fifth dimensional into a seventh or even 12th dimensional. And also at the same time, you can even pull up the Schumann resonance. If you follow that one, that one's off the charts today.
Okay, look at this. Okay, this is something. No, the Van Allen radiation belts are not within Earth's atmosphere, but rather they are located within the Earth's magnetosphere, which is a region surrounding the planet that is dominated by Earth's magnetic field. So they're pulled in. So this radiation is apparently pulled in by the Earth's magnetic field. The Earth's atmosphere, the layer of gas surrounding the Earth extends from the surface to about 10,000 kilometers or 6,200 miles. A much larger region around the Earth extends far beyond the atmosphere. So it is, but it isn't. I don't understand.
Right? How can you have the best of both worlds here?
Because the Earth,
an apropos phrase, right?
Yeah, because the Van Allen radiation belt is inside of the magnetosphere, and a much larger region around the Earth extending far beyond the atmosphere, where the Earth's magnetic field dominates.
Yeah.
So it reaches outside of the atmosphere, but yet the Van Allen, I don't know. That's weird.
But space travel, how does it work?
Well, I do think NASA has said that they have to transfer through the Van Allen radiation belt in order to go to some of these places. But I guess it would matter where you're taking off from.
Yeah.
If it's attached to the magnets of the poles, I would assume. I assume that's where the magnetosphere comes from. It's because it looks like it's coming from the North and the South Pole on this little diagram here.
Right. That's what we're all familiar with right there. That's what we've been shown in grade school since the Department of Education took over.
Yeah. Well, so if that's the case, I guess it would make a difference where you were departing from for the in the angle that you were going towards the moon to see what part of the magnetosphere you would cross, because I assume you could find openings where you could take off from where you would be at the least effect of the poles, I would assume, leaving from the equator at a relatively centered distance in the hemispheres. I think it would work, but I think it'd be in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you can't really put rocket launch pads on the poles, because then we obviously know what happened with the Space Shuttle Challenger. That was ice buildup.
Yeah, and that's silly stuff. And I didn't understand the O-ring thing.
Yeah.
And the seals on that.
And
stuff.
Who knows really what happened on that? That's a whole rabbit hole in and of itself.
Oh yeah, me and Mud Rabbit got into a deep discussion about this, and I pulled up the pictures of the people that
supposedly they're still alive. They're like professors and doctors, and living the good life now.
It's a little sketchy. Some red flags there.
Yeah. Did you ever do you remember a television show from the 1980s? Getting onto the subject of the old TV shows. Television show by the name of Punky Brewster. Did you ever see that one?
I did.
Okay. So, the Space Shuttle Challenger, that happened at the height of the Punky Brewster era. And Punky Brewster had both a live show as well as a Saturday morning cartoon. Punky Brewster was like big pop culture back in the 80s for kids. And the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. That happened. They actually did a special on the Punky Brewster show to where Buzz Aldrin came on as a special guest.
Okay.
And essentially it was to, let the kids know, hey, something bad just happened. Do you want to talk about it? The good things that we're supposed to do when bad things happen, right? Yeah. So that,
More of a comforting episode to try to show people like, yeah, accidents